Alright, what's going on, interwebs? I just got this Glock 45. I've opened it up. This isn't like the official first time I've ever touched the gun before by any means, but for presentation purposes, here it is in the case it came in. So opening thoughts on this gun. If you don't know, the Glock 45 has the full-size Glock 17 frame with the slide of a Glock 19. So it's a full-size frame with the compact, quote-unquote, slide. And I found myself really liking this type of pistol, if you will. As of now, my go-to gun is this M&P 2.0. That is essentially the same format, the full-size grip with that compact-ish length slide. And right now, this is my go-to gun for, over duty belt type of setup, if you will. I've never been a Glock guy. I don't actively dislike them, but I can't seem to get on board with them. The weapon itself, it's a Glock. It's obviously a fine firearm, but it's just the ergonomic features, if you will. I found that I don't enjoy them, just to put it simply. But like everyone, or most folks, this was the first pistol that I have ever bought. It's a Gen 4 Glock 19 that I got maybe 7-ish years ago, something along those lines. As far as this gun, it's got I believe it's an innovative gunfighter systems or solutions trigger, which I really like. Old Enforce, I believe it's the APL Lite, and stippling job done by myself, along with some undercut and some trigger guard work as well. This is my wife's favorite gun. This is essentially her gun now. She really likes this. And again, like I've already touched upon, I don't. However, with this Glock 45 kind of coming out, and I wanted to give it another go, being that I like the format, if you will, of the full-size grip and the compact slide. I figured I'd see what Glock's offering has to offer, if you will. So I got the MOS because red dots are pretty much the standard now. After this video, I'm going to go mounting this well-used holosun up on it. Unless you're hopping in and out of temperature differences, like air-conditioned vehicle out into 90-degree, 100% humidity kind of thing like that, red dots are kind of the standard as far as it goes now here in 2023. So it's got the MOS plates. This one came with 3 magazines, the Glock's backstrap system, which right off the bat is not nearly as intuitive or easy as the Smith & Wesson M&P, because with this guy, there it is, backstrap's off. The Glock kind of have to fight with the pin a little bit. It's not as modern. But anyway, I really won't hold that against the Glock, because if I do anything with the backstrap, it's going to be what I did with my 19. We just take the backstrap, cut it off, just so I have like the increased beaver tail on the back. But it's not all that big a deal. So anyway, full-size grip and the compact slide. And first thoughts on this is the favorite Glock that I've ever really held, stock, that is. It's the least glocky Glock, I should say. One, as I'm sure you know, it has the front slide serrations and the beveled front slide as well, which I can appreciate. But the magic here, for me anyway, is kind of in that grip. Being that this 19 is my wife's go-to pistol and her favorite gun, I was very curious to get her take on the 45. And while she shoots better than most dudes, unquestionably, she's not in the gun world per se. She doesn't know the difference between a 19 and a 45 and what have you. So she has no emotional attachment to the items either. So I was very curious to see what she had to say about these guys. I didn't tell her anything about it. I just essentially handed it to her and said, "What are your thoughts on this?" And because she knows what she's doing, she immediately cleared the gun out and confirmed the status of the gun, and like a professional, and went right into it. But anyway, her first thought was that it seems smaller. The grip seems smaller, which I found kind of ironic, being that it is the long grip. But what she's obviously talking about is the roundedness of the pistol grip itself, which was a major complaint with the Gen 4 in particular. I have never really shot a Gen 3 or Gen 2 or anything along those lines. My Glock time is mostly on this and a Glock 43. This is the chunky Glock. Like, it feels like a brick to me. This one, while still not being nearly as comfortable and just intuitive as my MMP, it is certainly heads and shoulders above the Gen 4. This is a 2x4 to me. This is kind of like a rounded and smoothed out 2x4. And I normally find myself doing, I like the larger grip as opposed to the compact frame. So that's +1 right off the bat for me. The magazine well certainly is much more beveled than Gen 4. That's a nice touch. It doesn't seem like it would be too protruding or overly annoying if you were for some reason like tuck this in your waistband or something along those lines. So I like that. I like that it just comes stock as such. That little bit is nice. But overall, that's the big change for me. Obviously the MOS system is the MOS system for mounting optics, whatever. But the grip is where it lies. That'll be like the make or break factor for me as to whether or not I kind of grow to like this gun. Because man, I really want to get on the Glock train. I really want to get on board. I really do, because everyone loves Glocks and they're kind of like the industry standard. Even though I think they're kind of being left behind as companies like SIG and Smith & Wesson and others kind of make them get off their laurels a little bit. But as far as, like I said, to kind of wrap it up here, my initial impressions, having not even dry fired this, just kind of taking it out of the box and handling and fiddling with it, I have high hopes for it. It might not convert me entirely to Glock. I don't think it will do that. I'm a big fan of my Smith & Wesson, but this might very well turn out to be my favorite Glock. That being said, if you've made it this far, if I buy a pistol, buy a holster. Can you do work without a holster and a pistol at the range? Like yes. And unfortunately, if you're stuck at a public range in a lot of states, and definitely mine for sure, you can't even draw the weapon from the holster, do any kind of holster work, so it's a moot point. However, speaking for myself, if I'm buying a pistol, I'm getting some type of holster that fits the usage profile for that gun. This is a T-Rex Arms called the Ragnarok. It's on a Safariland, the UBL mid-drop, I believe. I don't remember exactly what the nomenclature is. With the quick attach plate, the QLS system. This is my go-to when it comes to a Kydex holster. One being because their website is very intuitive and easy to use. And two being, I don't know if I want to put an expensive light on this gun or want to invest the money, whatever these things cost, the $200 plus for a Safariland holster. So I just got a bare bones, no lights, no nothing, just T-Rex Arms Ragnarok holster for $75-ish, something along those lines, which is very reasonable, if you ask me. So if I buy a pistol, I buy a holster, because that's how I'm carrying the gun. It's just like a rifle. If I have a rifle, it has a sling. So that would be a recommendation of mine to you guys, is if you buy a pistol, you really can't get a feel for the gun and kind of train with it effectively unless you have some sort of retention capability on the gun itself. Yeah, you can do a lot of work, yes, undoubtedly so. Most obviously shooting is done out of the holster, but still, if you kind of want to figure out what your abilities and capabilities are with a pistol, you need some sort of retention system, the way that you will be using the gun in the real world, per se. So to kind of sum it all up here, I'm very excited to get this guy out on the range and get some rounds through it. It's not like this is a new gun. I'm very late to the game, and I'm not even playing the game per se. This is not even a review, just more of like a first impressions, general thoughts of mine, because I'm kind of excited to see if the Glock can win me over. So, yep, that's it. Thanks, guys.